And I was so furious and said, turn the effing camera off.
Welcome to Mojo Corps, and today we're counting down our picks for the times actors chose to forego stunt people and paid the price for it.
It's scared, really scared. I just ordinary people, I'm not a Superman.
Number 10, George Clooney, Syriana.
And I fell over and I tore my spine, my dura in two places, about 1.5 inches in one and a half an inch in the other. And all the spinal fluid goes out.
George Clooney earned an Oscar for his performance in Syriana, but it was a small consolation for months of physical and mental anguish. Clooney's character, Bob Barnes, is being interrogated when he falls backwards and hits his head on the floor. This bone-crunching smack was real, and according to Clooney, he, quote, immediately knew how serious it was.
Your brain sinks in your head, and it's attached to all these nerve endings. And it's really unbearably painful. And you have to lay down and you can't get up. And I thought I had a stroke, honestly. And
he began suffering from debilitating headaches and checked himself into a hospital, where it was discovered that he had torn his dura and was leaking spinal fluid. The pain was so unbearable that Clooney considered taking his own life, but operations fixed the injury and the pain eventually subsided. Number 9, Sylvester Stallone, Rocky IV.
I must break you.
This is widely considered to be the goofiest movie in the Rocky franchise, but it has an amazing final fight between Rocky and Ivan Drago. To make the fight appear more authentic and brutal, Stallone asked Dolph Lundgren to punch him for real. He took 3 straight takes of the powerful body shots before he felt a burning sensation in his chest. Stallone proceeded to ignore the discomfort until his blood pressure shot up to 260 and he had trouble breathing. He was subsequently flown to a hospital and spent time in the ICU, where he learned that his heart had slammed against his breastbone and begun to swell.
Number 8, Channing Tatum, Foxcatcher.
Just a 3 marker, get it back.
When he was playing Olympic wrestler Mark Schultz, Channing Tatum tried to be as authentic as possible. And in this case, that meant destroying a mirror with his face. By this point in the film, Schultz is feeling the mental strain. After losing an important match, he paces around his hotel room, hitting himself angrily and crying. The most intense moment comes when he stands in front of a mirror and proceeds to smash it with his head 3 times, shattering it and cutting his forehead. Though he was actually bleeding and came within inches of hitting a stud in the wall, Tatum finished the scene beautifully, and he claims not to remember filming this at all. Number 7, Steve Carell, the 40-year-old virgin.
See that whole Teen Wolf thing you got going right there? You need to wax that right out.
This chest waxing sequence is now iconic, and part of the magic stems from its realism. Wanting the scene to look as true to life, not to mention as funny as possible, Steve Carell decided to bite the bullet and actually get his chest waxed.
You shouldn't! Oh, I hate you! I hate you!
His clear hesitance and screams of pain are all real, as is Paul Rudd and Seth Rogen's laughing. By the end of the waxing, Andy has tears in his eyes and blood spots adorning his chest. That is not makeup, nor a great bit of acting from Carell.
Como se llama? No, Kelly Clarkson!
Those are very real tears and very real blood spots. We thank Carell for putting his body and comfort on the line just for our comedic enjoyment.
Not the nipple. Come
Not
on.
the nipple.
Not
Not
the
the
nipple.
Not the nipple.
Number 6, Diane Kruger, Inglourious Basterds.
Duffy.
In a tale of Nazi-killing bastards, things are bound to get dangerous, even for the actors involved. German movie star Brigitte von Hammersmark, played by Diane Kruger, is actually a spy for the good guys. Something that doesn't go over too well with Christoph Waltz's Nazi Colonel Hans Landa.
Voila. What's that American expression? If the shoe fits, you must wear it.
When the Jew hunter confirms his theory, he lunges at Miss von Hammersmark and chokes the life right out of her. It seems like Kruger's acting here is on point, but the truth is she actually can't breathe. Because of the scene's importance, the danger involved, and the fact that he had a very specific vision in mind, Quentin Tarantino himself strangled Kruger, with his hands used in the close-ups.
Was jetzt, Oberst?
Number 5. Jim Caviezel, The Passion of the Christ.
Playing Jesus Christ in Mel Gibson's biblical opus sounds like the role of a lifetime. And that role went to Jim Caviezel. Unfortunately, Caviezel went through absolute torture while filming the movie. He suffered migraines from his swollen eye makeup, incurred a lung infection and pneumonia, dislocated his shoulder while carrying the 150-pound cross, and was even struck by lightning while filming the Sermon on the Mount sequence. During the lashing scene, Caviezel was accidentally whipped across the back on 2 separate occasions, a pain he described as, quote, so horrific that you can't get air. Well, suppose that's one way to get a great reaction shot.
Number 4. Sylvester Stallone, First Blood. In movie badass John Rambo's first outing, our titular protagonist, played by Syvester Stallone, is being pursued by the abusive Hope Washington Police Department. The chase eventually leads to a cliff, where Rambo is hanging on for dear life, about to be shot at by a cop in a helicopter. With no other options, Rambo takes a blind leap, tumbles through the trees, and lands on a tree branch. Being the professional action star he is, Stallone performed this stunt himself. However, things didn't quite go as planned. The painful scream you hear when he lands is not acting. When all was said and done, Sly walked away with a cracked rib, but an amazing stunt performance. Number 3. Ellen Burstyn, The Exorcist.
In one of the most famous scenes of The Exorcist, a possessed Regan assaults her mother Chris and slaps her across the room, resulting in Chris screaming in distress. It wasn't acting. That's the scream of a back injury that's caused lifelong pain. To film the sequence, a stuntman was needed to forcefully pull actress Ellen Burstyn onto her back using a wire.
Billy said to him, "Okay, don't pull her so hard." But as I turned away, I felt them exchange a look.
Burstyn told director William Friedkin that the stuntman was pulling too hard and that she feared for her safety. But Friedkin didn't listen. On the next take, Burstyn injured her back and screamed in pain, which is the take you see in the movie. The injury wasn't debilitating, but it did leave Burstyn with a lifetime of back discomfort.
Because I couldn't stand that he was willing to just get a quick shot of it before they called the ambulance, you know.
Number 2. Jackie Chan, Police Story.
Police Story contains one of the most insane Jackie Chan stunts, and that is certainly saying something. It involves Chan jumping onto a metal pole, sliding down through a series of lights, and crashing through a glass ceiling onto a display below. Chan was actually very hesitant to perform the stunt, and was ecstatic following its successful completion. But once the immediate adrenaline wore off, Chan realized the skin on his palms had been peeled away.
The power, I don't know where the power come from. Then I turn around, I see 600 extra, and I just to the thing. I hit myself, blues. I just
The hot prop lights had significantly heated the metal pole, resulting in second-degree burns to Chan's hands. All things considered, we think he got off very lucky.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible Fallout.
At this point, we're starting to think that Tom Cruise has been replaced with a stunt-performing robot. He's inhuman. Fallout, the 6th installment in the Mission Impossible franchise, contains a shot in which Cruise's Ethan Hunt jumps between 2 buildings. Hunt slams into the second building, pulls himself up with a clear grimace of pain, and slowly hobbles off screen. It's a great realistic detail, and that's because Tom Cruise was actually in a lot of pain.
So he jumps, that speed, that momentum. Here we go.
Look at...
And now watch that. Watch this.
Cruise performed the stunt himself and broke his ankle upon impact with the building. Rather than calling for a cut, Cruise pulled himself up and finished the scene. 7 weeks and $80 million later, he was back at work, good as new.
Here is why Tom Cruise gets paid the big bucks, okay?
Which actor do you think makes the best stunt person? Let us know in the comments. Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.